Let's take a look at measuring. Again, all part of the design review would be to, you might need to check things, to measure things. You might get those measurements perhaps from the information here. So we've got a length, for instance, of 15.4 meters. But of course, we can always check these with measurements. And here's our measuring tools. We can measure distances, areas, a location, I'll talk about that one, radiuses and angles. So let's start with the simplest one, which is a distance. Now you'll notice on the cursor, and by the way, I've got this on my cursor. I'll do that again there for you, because down the bottom here, I've chosen to show the prompt at the cursor. If you don't have this on, when you come to do things like a measurement or anything, you won't get any prompt. You sort of have to look down the bottom. So just as a personal thing, I find it easier to have that turned on. And you'll notice left mouse button to accept a point and right mouse button to restart. So there we go. Now, measuring works in conjunction with snaps. This is a three-dimensional model with edges and points and such like. So unless you want to do nearest points, you generally will work with key points. Now, in iModel parlance, a key point is a center, is an end point, and probably a midpoint as well. Yeah, it's a midpoint as well. Now, obviously, in CAD software, we can manipulate snaps in much greater detail and granularity, but not in the iModel. We keep it simple. It's not designed to be a CAD application. So, being very careful, I am looking to make sure that I am snapping onto the point I want, and then I'm going to left mouse click to select it, and then move over to another point here to pick that next point. Okay, and there we have our measurement, 15.55. Here it is in here. Okay, and I'm looking at various things in here. Obviously, if the distance and the run were different, it means I've sort of snapped onto different parts in space. And likewise, the rise is 0, so I'm in a plane. It's planar, horizontal, and the slope is 0. And it's given me some coordinate values that may or may not be useful to me, like so. So if I don't like that measurement, I can clear the measurement. That goes away. And I can make that measurement again. Okay, so let's quickly do one more in there. I'll just do the same one again. Just down to here, 15.55. And you may notice we've got this option here to share the dimension. Okay, so I'm not going to share this one, but I'm going to show you dimensions that have been shared. So sharing a dimension means, a measurement rather than a dimension, means it will be shared amongst the whole team. So let me delete that measurement again. Down the bottom, if I click on here, I can choose to show the shared dimensions, and you can see it was previously shared, this measurement. Keep calling it a dimension, it's a measurement. So these are all the previous shared measurements. Let's turn those off. So if I wanted to, I could measure an area. Now, areas you're going to be slightly careful on here because, you know, you might need to zoom in to get exactly the points you need. And of course, zooming in and out when you've got the perspective of the camera turned on can sometimes be difficult. So sometimes I turn the camera off because it just makes it that little bit more easy for me. So there's my measurement in there. There's my area, 217.1713 meters squared. We also get a perimeter for that, of course, which would make sense. And again, choose to share it or not to share it. Up to you. And of course, we have the location. Now, if I go for a location, this is a geographically located model. Let's just turn the camera back on. So we've got a map, a Bing map, because we had a geographical coordinate system attached in the original CAD file. So if I was to select this corner, top corner of this building, that's giving me the Cartesian coordinate. That's the normal X, Y, and Z in the CAD file, perhaps. But because this is geographically located, it's also given me a longitude and latitude. Okay, so X, Y, Z, longitude, latitude, and altitude. So that's what the location will do. Let's ditch that. And of course, we've got tools in here for radius. If I had something that was circular, I could get a radius of it. It looks like I may not. Let's just try just for fun. And we've got some tables inside that looks like they are slightly circular. So let's see if that will work on there. Let's pick this. Pick a radius. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Fair enough. Point on the arc. Point on the arc. There we go. We get a radius of that table. So it's not a matter of just picking a circle and it giving us the radius. We're just giving it 3 points on an arc to get a radius, which could be quite useful. And in the same instance, we have the measure an angle. So let's measure, expecting the angle 90. There we go. We can see that whoever designed this designed it at a nice square angle, 90 degrees. So that's measuring. Very useful. Remember, you can share those amongst your team or indeed just leave them as local measurements.